Rachel Zegler, once seen as a rising star in Hollywood, found herself at the center of a firestorm, a controversy now widely referred to as the Snow White disaster. The term encapsulates a whirlwind of negative reactions, poor test screenings, behind-the-scenes tension, and widespread backlash, all of which threatened to overshadow Disney's entire live-action adaptation. Now, in a twist that few saw coming, rumors are circulating that Zegler herself blames none other than Peter Dinklage for exacerbating the chaos. This new angle has stirred up fresh debates, infusing even more intrigue into a saga already brimming with speculation. How did it all come to this? What role might Peter Dinklage have played? And why would Rachel Zegler's frustrations be directed toward him? But perhaps the most intriguing question of all, does this blame game signal a deeper rift within Hollywood's ongoing attempts to modernize beloved fairy tales? In the months leading up to the film's release, the project was marred by one controversy after another. Disney had proudly touted its intention to reimagine the classic Snow White for a new generation, vowing to address what it saw as outdated elements from the beloved 1937 animated masterpiece. At first, fans were intrigued. There was genuine curiosity about how the studio would approach the modernization of a story so deeply woven into the fabric of popular culture. Then came the casting announcement. Rachel Zegler as Snow White, a bold move that immediately drew both praise and critique. Some fans championed the decision as a way to bring greater inclusivity to the iconic role. Others, however, were apprehensive, wondering just how far Disney would stray from the original. Then, Peter Dinklage entered the discussion, voicing his concerns about portraying the Seven Dwarfs in a potentially stereotypical fashion. Dinklage's comments struck a nerve, both with Disney and with audiences. Suddenly, the studio found itself caught between respecting a beloved story and avoiding harmful cliches. Debate erupted across social media, splintering fans into factions. Some applauded Dinklage for speaking out, while others argued that such criticism was an overreach, threatening a cherished fairy tale that, if handled thoughtfully, could still retain its whimsical charm without mocking anyone. Some critics even claimed Dinklage destroyed Disney, suggesting his remarks might cost the studio over $100 million. At the time, Rachel Zegler remained silent on the matter, leading many to speculate that she was either unbothered or contractually obligated to stay quiet. As development continued, rumors of script rewrites began to circulate. Insiders whispered that the production was scrambling to adjust the story in response to the outcry, and that the creative team was in disarray over how best to integrate, or exclude, the dwarfs. Further controversy ignited when some questioned the casting of Zegler, who is Hispanic, to play a character traditionally portrayed as German. More claims surfaced that rewrites were directly linked to studio panic following Dinklage's criticism. Zegler, meanwhile, appeared caught in the middle, grappling with a story that was shifting beneath her feet. As the production inched closer to completion, reports of disjointed editing and confused storylines emerged. Test screenings received lukewarm receptions at best, with some audiences calling the film tonally inconsistent. This controversy was soon compared to Disney's Little Mermaid remake starring Halle Bailey, another film that faced backlash and ended up losing over $50 million, despite a global box office of $555 million. Audiences criticized how certain scenes in Snow White appeared to pander to modern messaging, rather than weaving it naturally into the story. For a tale as classic and treasured as Snow White, this was a major concern. Behind-the-scenes whispers claimed that members of the creative team were at odds, with some pushing for a more traditional retelling, while others demanded sweeping changes to reflect modern values. Peter Dinklage's involvement became a central point of tension. After Zegler was cast, he criticized Disney, calling their approach fake progressivism, suggesting that while they cast a Latina actress to feel good about themselves, they ignored what he saw as a much bigger issue: the continued depiction of the Seven Dwarfs. Rachel Zegler's name began surfacing frequently in discussions, as she became the face of the production. Whether fair or not, everything, good or bad, began funneling directly toward her. Then came the rumors. Some claimed Zegler was lashing out in frustration. Others said she was in damage control mode. Conflicting narratives piled up, including one bizarre claim of a potential legal issue stemming from an alleged confrontation on set, though no verifiable evidence ever surfaced. Still, the rumor mill churned, damaging the production's reputation even further. Disney attempted to pivot and salvage the film's image, but even that move brought backlash. Peter Dinklage was now facing criticism himself from actors with similar conditions like Dylan Postel, who called Dinklage's stance selfish, arguing that the dwarfism community needed more roles, not fewer. Yet every move only seemed to fuel new criticisms. Even fans who had previously defended Disney's live-action strategy began calling Snow White a step too far. Critics seized on the chaos as a prime example of what can happen when modernization is poorly executed. As the film limped toward its theatrical release date, the swirling negativity continued to grow. And with the industry now moving toward replacing little people entirely, casting actors like Hugh Grant as a CGI Oompa Loompa in Wonka, many are asking, where does Hollywood go from here?